right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Corey here in the Weather Center. It is 8:02 Central Time, 9:02 Eastern Time on a Sunday evening. You are looking at a live image of the Greensburg camera here on the square. It is a nice 67 degrees on this Sunday evening in the middle of May. Not too shabby out there. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Unfortunately, we have another threat for some severe weather coming tomorrow and Tuesday. So we'll go ahead and get into the latest information on that, and then what I'll do is I will give you guys an opportunity for some questions there at the end. So here is the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook for Tuesday. This is the day that we believe is going to be the most active here in the central Kentucky area yet again. You look to the south here across portions of middle central Tennessee down into the northern part of Mississippi and the northwestern part of Alabama. The Storm Prediction Center already has highlighted this area here in that level 3 enhanced risk area, level 3 enhanced risk area. And real quickly, what I will pull up here is the outlook. A lot of people ask questions, what does these levels mean? And I've really concentrated on this a little bit more this year. We're not necessarily worried about what level we're in. The main thing for us is we want to talk about impacts, okay? We want to talk about the impacts that the community is going to experience. Nonetheless, these categories that you see here is it's what the Storm Prediction Center uses to highlight the areas that have the higher potential for severe weather. So level 2 is what we are currently under, which means that there is an increased confidence that storms will contain damaging winds, severe hail, and or a tornado potential. Some of those storms could be significant. That level 3, again, just to our south in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama, that is a high confidence that several storms will contain damaging winds, severe hail, and tornadoes. With us being 3 days out, that is very concerning that the Storm Prediction Center already has highlighted that area in an increased confidence there for severe weather. Of course, we just seen the level 4 moderate risk on Friday across much of Kentucky. That was a high confidence, and that actually verified. So at level 3 is just to our south. That will more than likely come a little bit more north with time. So I'll probably see that enhanced risk, probably if I had to guess on the next update, probably come up just a little bit more to the north, somewhere along the line of this right here in that area on that next update from the Storm Prediction Center. Definitely expect to see that risk moved up. But nonetheless, we are expected to see another round of strong to severe thunderstorms on Tuesday. We'll get into the timing here in just a second. Tomorrow, we could be seeing some severe weather as well. This is tomorrow's outlook. We kind of see, if we zoom out here on this, on the risk area here, we zoom out, the bigger severe threat's going to be well to our west across portions of Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, the northern part of Texas there, all the way down to Dallas, Fort Worth. That's going to be the bigger severe weather threat tomorrow. But you also see over here in the Kentucky area, just to our south, across portions of Tennessee, all the way up into close to the Nashville area, all the way to the Nashville area, we have this other little area that is included in that slight risk. That could come north just a little bit, but nonetheless, we come in here to the central Kentucky area. We're in this level 1, this green area for tomorrow, which is just general thunderstorms, could see an isolated severe storm. It's the lowest severe weather level for tomorrow. So don't want to sleep on tomorrow. There is a potential for some severe weather in the area, but again, bigger chance here comes on Tuesday. And again, that's the latest update here from the Storm Prediction Center. And I do expect this level 3 to be moved up into portions of western and central Kentucky. So let's kind of look at the future cast here. We'll kind of go over what the latest information is showing here on the future cast model. Now this is the NAM 3K. So this is the same thing you guys see on TV. It's just a simulated radar. You don't want to put a lot of emphasis on this. This is basically just going to show the areas of what could happen. Just because you're seeing a storm at this time at this location doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen. Just kind of gives you an idea of how the day will play out, or how the next couple of days will play out nonetheless. So this is tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. You guys see the time right under at the top of your screen there where it says Futurecast. You see the time right under it. So you guys can kind of see that for reference, okay? So this is 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. We get into the 6 a.m., 7 a.m. time frame. Looks like around daybreak tomorrow, all the way up to mid-morning. Probably going to see a round of showers. Could see an isolated storm in there. Again, not looking at anything significant as far as severe weather is concerned. But could see a strong storm in there tomorrow morning, sometime all the way up to mid-morning. Then we get into the afternoon hours. We kind of see this line of thunderstorm activity up here in the southern part of Indiana kind of break away and move into the central Kentucky area. This is where I think we have the best shot of seeing a severe storm or two tomorrow afternoon. We'll keep an eye on this to see if the data continues to show this little batch of storms that you're seeing here. This is around 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. This little batch of storms moving into the central Kentucky area. We'll watch that. We'll see if that becomes a thing. If that actually ends up happening, that would be our best chance for severe weather tomorrow. But that is pretty much it for tomorrow. Again, not expecting anything crazy significant. Again, could see a severe storm or two. I will keep an eye on it. We'll have a much better idea in the morning on how that will evolve. So pay attention to the latest weather information tomorrow. And then we get into Tuesday. Nothing Monday night. We get into Tuesday morning. This is 2 a.m. Tuesday morning, 3 a.m. It look about the same thing as Monday morning. We see like pretty much a small batch of rain moving across the state sometime Tuesday morning. As of right now, what we're looking at on Tuesday is not what we just dealt with on Friday. It's going to be a little bit more obvious, or a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? I guess we're going to pay a little bit more attention to how the atmosphere is going to recover. That's the biggest thing we're going to be looking at on Tuesday. On Friday, we kind of knew the atmosphere was going to recover, but even if it didn't, we had so much energy in the atmosphere that we knew that we was going to have severe weather one way or the other. We just knew that the more sunshine that we've seen, the more those temperatures, got up into the around the 80-degree mark. That's just going to be that much more energy to work with. With our Tuesday system, we're going to have a little bit more emphasis on how much energy does the atmosphere have to work with. How many storms do we see during the morning time frame? How much rain do we see during the morning time frame? The more showers and storm activity that we see in the morning will depend on how much energy we have to work with in the afternoon. So right now, and this is Tuesday morning at 4 a.m., this is 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Not really a whole lot going on here in the morning hours, but if you look just to our west, there's a lot of rain activity over there in Missouri, Illinois, even all the way up to southern Indiana. As we progress closer to 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m., so it looks like sometime around noon, we're going to have a line of storm activity moving through central Kentucky. Now, this is probably going to have a few isolated severe storms with it just because it's going to be around the noon. The temperatures are going to be able to warm up just a little bit. We'll see what our high temperatures are expected to be here on Tuesday, somewhere around 80. So I would say temperatures by around noon will probably be, somewhere in the mid 70s, lower 70s. That's plenty of energy for these storms to work with around the noon hour. So could see an isolated severe storm or two probably going to happen there around the noon hour. But that's also going to kind of decrease our our energy just a little bit. Now, once those storms move out, this is the area that we're wanting to watch. How much energy does the atmosphere have for our later round of storms? You look off to the west across portions of Missouri, Illinois, getting down into the Middle Tennessee area Western Tennessee area. This line of storms is going to develop and move to the east. How much energy the atmosphere has will depend on how severe this line is. Okay, right now it looks like the atmosphere is going to recover with enough energy for this line to be severe. You look at this line coming through, and these little isolated storms you see pop up out ahead of it. You see some storms just south of Bowling Green. You see some storms just south of Elizabethtown. If some of those storms develop and actually organize, that would be your best tornado threat. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be looking at a tornado outbreak or anything like that we've seen on Friday. I think the main threat with Tuesday's system or Tuesday's setup is probably going to be more along the lines of damaging winds, okay? Damaging winds and some large hail. But obviously, you guys know how things work here in central Kentucky. We're definitely going to be dealing with at least somewhat of a tornado threat as well. It's just what happens here. It's just the way of life anymore. Anytime there's a severe weather threat, there's going to be rotation, no matter how you look at it. So it's always going to be a threat. But luckily, it doesn't look like it is as big of a threat as it was on Friday. Nonetheless, we have this round of severe weather moving through. It looks like sometime around sunset Tuesday night, which is also some good news because I know a lot of us, including myself, does not like to be up until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning covering severe weather. But this line pushes through the state, pushes into eastern Kentucky around 9, 10 o'clock p.m., and then moves out, and that's the end of our severe weather threat. And temperatures behind this cold front on Tuesday do get a little cold. We're looking at high temperatures on Wednesday, right around 70, which is not too bad. Low of 50 Wednesday night. Your temperature on Thursday and Friday is mid-60s. 64 degrees on Thursday, 65 on Friday. And then Saturday we're looking at 68 degrees. Lows getting into the 40s, 47 degrees on Friday night, 45 on Thursday night. So at least we're not going to be looking at any severe weather for the foreseeable future after Tuesday. So that's all I have right now. So I'm going to open it up here to some questions. Going to go back to the Storm Prediction Center Outlook. And I will answer some questions. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Can I make it not? Yeah, I wish I could make it not. Again, this is for the outlook you're looking at right now is for Tuesday. Nothing expected tonight, guys. Nothing expected tonight, Alexis. This is what the outlook you're seeing right here is for Tuesday. And again, we could see a little bit of severe weather tomorrow as well. Here's the outlook for tomorrow. Could see an isolated severe storm tomorrow as well. But primarily Tuesday is what we're looking at. Dwayne, I've not had any updates for cleanup for Somerset. Haven't seen anything officially from them as far as trying to get some organization together for what they need. Tomorrow, Ariel, the best ingredients are going to be way off to our west. So I'm not looking at anything significant tomorrow. But with that warm front retreating to the north there, definitely could see some, like I said, a few isolated severe storms. Shouldn't be anything crazy. But we'll definitely pay attention to that tomorrow to see what's going on, or to see how it's going to unplay. Robert, the worst case scenario for Tuesday would be we see an early round of storms, say somewhere around I would say 6, 7, 8 a.m., and that round moves out of the area by 9 and the sun comes out. That would be worst case scenario for Tuesday. If we get some heating, say from 9, 10 o'clock a.m., all the way to the next round of storms come in, then that's really going to destabilize the atmosphere and give the line of storms that we're expected to see the energy they need to really produce some damage. That would be the worst case scenario for Tuesday. We're just a little bit too far out to kind of determine how that's going to unfold. And we haven't seen that with our Friday system. We expected all the modeling and all the data was showing that we was going to have an early round of storms, but basically by around 8 a.m., and this is what I'm talking about Friday here, basically by around 8 a.m., it was showing everything clearing up, sun coming out, more storms developing somewhere around 1 o'clock, and then we have another round later on that evening. And the morning round lasted a little bit longer than what everybody thought. I don't think the morning round stopped until, 10 a.m.? And then by noon, everything was cleared out and the sun was out. So it took just a little bit, it didn't take long for the atmosphere to destabilize, but it definitely got there. But that pushed the timing back for our second round and our third round on Friday. So you just never know how it's going to unfold on severe weather day. That's why I always call it, what do I call it? Nowcasting. I don't know why I can never think of that. I call it nowcasting because that's what you're doing on severe weather days. You're nowcasting. You're looking at current temperatures, current dew points, current mesoanalysis from the Storm Prediction Center. You're looking at every model update coming in. You're looking at satellite, radar, and it changes hour by hour, and you have to adjust your forecast on severe weather days. So that's why it's important to stay weather aware. Anytime we've got bad weather here in Kentucky, it just changes so fast. And that's just not Kentucky, it's everywhere. Severe weather days everywhere. Things changes quickly. It's a domino effect when it comes to stuff like that. If we don't see, rain and storms throughout the day on Tuesday, our severe weather threat will go up. Jill, storms be moved out of Brandenburg by 6 p.m. I don't know. Tomorrow's just going to be scattered rain activity. We're looking at 60%. It's going to be scattered in nature throughout the day. Right now, it looks like tomorrow afternoon and evening will be relatively clear there, Jill. But definitely could see an isolated shower or something develop. We'll have a little bit more information on tomorrow as we get into tomorrow. That is correct, Tammy. We do not. Anytime severe weather is being forecasted, you do not want the sun to be out. Kind of gives everybody kind of a false narrative there. When you're predicting tornadoes, severe weather, damaging winds, all that stuff, the sun comes out and people's like, oh, it's not going to get bad at all. It's actually bad. It's really bad. That the sun comes out, creates instability. That's the energy those storms need to grow and, continue to be severe. So that's a lot of people. Some people know that, some people don't. It definitely creates a little bit of a false narrative there. We're not wanting to see sunlight on any severe weather day. Christina, do you see the level 3 expanding into southern Kentucky along the Kentucky-Tennessee border on Tuesday? Yes, I do. I actually see, personally, just based off what I've seen this afternoon, I personally think that the level 3 risk will probably be expanded somewhere like that right there. Kind of based off what I've seen today. Probably could go a little bit, more to the north as well, but I definitely see that level 3 being expanded. I don't know when they'll do it. They may do it tomorrow on their first update. It might take, a little bit of confidence. Not to say it won't happen. The Storm Prediction Center, they do stuff kind of based off confidence. And right now, the thing that we don't really know is how much energy these storms are going to have. How does that morning round of storms kind of unfolds? But as of right now, this area in the black is kind of the area that I think will be upgraded into that level 3 enhanced risk before it's all said and done. Now, do we get into a level 4 moderate risk? Don't know just yet. I don't know if we'll be upgraded into a level 4 or anybody. For sure, level 3 I think is happening, but don't know if we'll get any further updates, further upgrades, so to say, here in Kentucky. Anyways, I think a level 4 is possible. A little bit more to the south could be. Just got to kind of see how everything evolves and what some of the data shows here going into tomorrow. Confidence isn't extremely high right now, but we're getting there, and confidence will increase as we get a little bit closer as well. So, but definitely think a level 4 is possible for some people across the Ohio Valley here. But again, not trying to concentrate on the levels here. We're wanting to concentrate on the impacts, and we are expected to see a severe weather episode here on Tuesday. So definitely want everybody to pay attention to the latest weather information so we can be up to date with that. So, with that being said, I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Just wanted to jump in here and give you guys a quick update on what we have coming. That's pretty much what I do here. I try to give you guys as much heads up as possible. And, we've done that. We have definitely done that. So, I'll keep you guys up to date. I showed the models, Ariel. I've already went through the FutureCast. So, if you guys want to see that, just when the stream ends, just go back and rewind it. You get to see the FutureCast on there, and you get all the latest information doing it that way. So, anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I'll keep you guys updated with all the latest weather information. Enjoy your Sunday night, and I will talk to you soon.